Welcome back to another episode of Excuse My Grandma. It's Kim and my co-host.
Grandma Gail.
First episode of 2024.
Wow, this is really unbelievable. It's 3 years of these episodes, Kim.
Yeah, I was going to say we started January 2021.
I can't believe how time has flown.
Did you think we would still be sitting here
No.
podcasting
No.
in the same apartment?
I didn't think anybody would be that interested in our lives, but I guess there are more people than we know that are. So thank you, everybody. It's been a wonderful experience so far.
Yeah. I know we've talked about this before, that you didn't know like what a podcast really was prior to starting, but like, what have your thoughts been since then? How's that evolved?
Well, actually, I realized that people really use them all the time. They use them for information. They use them for entertainment, and I've done the same as well now. It's very interesting. You get different people's perspectives. When you're walking on the street, you put your buds in your ear, and you can listen. Earpads or whatever they're called. But AirPods. I don't do that. I listen to the actual podcasts in my room on my phone. I enjoy it, and
when it comes to TikTok and Instagram too, like, people really treat it as a job.
Yeah. Well, it has become a job. When people say, well, what do you do, that don't know anything about podcasts or about what's going on in social media, I think they're in the minority now. That's a dying breed. Most young people and anybody over the age of probably 70 now knows about social media, influencers, content creators, and we've become a part of that. Mm-hmm. So it's been fascinating, especially for me, less so for you because you knew about it so much. I really didn't, and it's where most people get their information from. For good or bad, by the way.
I feel like it was a thing older adults did to seem like they were better than or smarter than you, when they were like, oh, I don't go on that. Like, that's not something I do. But now you kind of just seem like ignorant and like.
Right. I mean, I'm not saying you should get. I still read the newspaper, and as most people of our age do, because I like to read an entire article, not just a snippet of what the news is. But it's basically how young people get their information. And I hope that if somebody listens to us, it isn't the end-all thing on relationships, but it's a beginning of a talk, and you get ideas from Kim about dating now and about what I think about dating and other subjects that we often talk about. Mm-hmm. And so
no one's saying rely on one thing.
Right.
It's more just like another
baseline.
Form.
It's a baseline.
Yeah.
It's a baseline that people are now enjoying. Everybody comes up to us that we know. Really, it's been really a wonderful reception, whether we're on the streets in New York or in Florida or wherever I've been. Actually, even in Arkansas, people came up and said, we enjoy listening to you. And it reminds them it's a nostalgic thing, yet it's a thought-provoking podcast, as well as our other vehicles that we're on, and we're glad for that.
So let's talk about our New Year's Eve.
Well, you could talk about yours. Mine wasn't so eventful, but I spent more time looking in my closet what I was going to wear than I actually think I spent at my activity where I went. So I'll give you mine first, Kim.
Okay.
I went to a cocktail party. A very nice woman that I've known for many years always does it. She's very inclusive. She invites everyone basically that she knows, and she has lovely cocktails and hors d'oeuvres, and you spend about, some people make an entire evening of it, and others just go in and wish people that are there a happy new year and a healthy one. So it was very cold New Year's Eve down here, so I wore a velvet jacket and a pair of pants, and I was very comfortable. And I went with Poppy, and he actually said, I'm not going out afterwards. He didn't want to go. His Palm Beach midnight is 10 o'clock. Mm-hmm. So he said he really isn't in the mood to do anything later. I said, you know what? It's fine with me. So he made a dinner out of it, and I came home and had honey bunches of oats, which was just perfect. Yeah, it was fine. It was fine. And, we had a laugh in the beginning of the evening, Kim. Remember what happened?
We
you
had
and I.
disgusting caviar.
It was disgusting. I went and bought. I thought I would be funny. I went to our local drugstore, which is really more than a drugstore, and it has a whole refrigerator full of caviar, different types. So
Only
I got
in Palm Beach.
In Palm Beach, I got the most expensive little one. I saw that it was some kind of American caviar, which is fine, and I figured, all right, how bad could it be? So I opened it up for you and I to have a taste before you were going out and before Poppy and I. And I had some champagne on the side, and I thought we'd have some cheese. And I opened up the caviar, and I figured, I better taste it first. It was so salty. Even
it was
just
really
beyond.
gross. I mean,
it was awful.
you can't buy $40 caviar. Like it's
Well, but I thought I would mix it with something.
also
but
nobody
even was-
mixes
it
it
was
with sour
terrible.
cream in the way that you did. You made like a mush together. Like you're just supposed to take a dab of each thing.
Well, it was. I
didn't
needed
even
more than a dab because the caviar was so terrible. So
Yeah.
anyway, it proved to me one thing: what you get is what you pay for. So,
yeah, honestly.
But we had a laugh out of that, and then we went off to our cocktail party, and we came home, and I watched the last remaining chapters of The Crown, which was my
honestly,
big
I
night.
should have done that.
No. You had fun, and tell us what
I
you
had
did.
fun. I just am always like underwhelmed by the holiday in general, which we've talked about. But first, I went in West Palm to my friend's fiance's middle school friend's house. So I didn't really know anybody except for the few people that I came with. But it was a nice little dinner, and then from there, someone actually organized a party bus,
Which I think is a great idea, New Year's Eve.
it was
really
sort of
do.
like a limo with a stripper pole in it kind of thing. To take us 40 minutes or so to Jupiter, or it was really Palm Beach Gardens where another party was at like a gorgeous house on the water. And I didn't know many people there, but obviously it was nice and festive. They had a DJ.
Oh, that's really nice. Well, that
Um,
was much nicer than my night.
Yeah.
Did they have food up in at that party, or it was just
I think
cocktails?
there actually was pizza.
Oh, okay.
But I had already eaten anyway. But
Right.
they definitely had drinks.
Well, we know they
and-
had drinks because I think you were hungover yesterday.
Yeah, that's definitely why we're doing the podcast from bed today. Yeah, I mean, it was fine. I definitely around midnight felt the anxiety of like, okay, everyone's gonna kiss, and it's like that like 160 seconds is awkward, where everyone's
Right.
like Happy New Year, and you're like, okay, Happy New Year, I'm ready to go.
All right.
So it was
That's
that.
the case of being single. You can't help that.
Yeah, and I don't know
But
why.
there were other single people there, so everybody was in the same boat.
Yeah, but like you don't notice that as much. Besides Valentine's Day, I think it's like the hardest single holiday.
Right.
I don't know why, because it's just about ringing in the new year. It's not about relationships, but
I'm telling you, you have to watch. It's all about Harry Met Sally. I mean, it's become your life. I love it.
it's not my life. I
Right.
wish it was my life. When someone rushes in, that's the thing. I feel like
Well,
I
that
was
was
sitting.
at the end of many years.
Right, it was like 10. So maybe in 10 years.
Oh God!
I
don't
hope
say
not.
that. Don't say that.
Um,
I'll be in a walker. So
Yeah,
don't say
but
that.
I think I realized at midnight, I'm like, I don't really want to be in this position next year. So maybe a few changes need to be made for it to be like a different outcome going into 2025,
Well, maybe.
and not being like, is any boy gonna text me Happy New Year? Like, I don't want to feel that way.
Correct.
So when it comes to wishes for this new year, are there anything that you're hoping to do or work on? Any place you want to travel to?
Well, I have to tell you, this year has been 2023. Turned out it was a good year and a bad year. I mean, we had a lot of very pleasant things that we did together as a team. But then on October 7th, the Gaza massacre and terrorist incident occurred. And really, since then, I think everybody's lives have sort of changed. And things have become upside down, from college campuses to Congress to our personal lives, and everybody realizing how precarious their situations really are in this world. So I think that would be a wish that I have for 2024, that people would stop first of all, hating each other, and try to be somewhat of a kind to one another. We're all the same under our skin. We all have the same hearts and the same desires for health and happiness, and we can approach it differently from different cultures and different viewpoints, but we still all should be looking for peace amongst our neighbors and our friends and family. So that's something I really hope for the coming year. And then I also think the political situation needs to quiet down a little, less animosity on their part, also on the candidates' parts from both parties. It's not right, and it doesn't send a signal to young people that we are really being a productive nation. So I'm hoping that changes as well. And then I'm just hoping for health and happiness for all of my family and for our viewers.
I think that's a great message. So then on a day-to-day basis, how are you going to work on those?
Well, I'm really not in charge of anything. So I just go about my own life trying to make other people happy within my own little small circle, and if anything I can do, I do try, with whether it be a smile, a good morning, how was your day, I hope you're feeling well, making the call to somebody you know isn't feeling well and trying to cheer them up. I think all the little things that one does on a personal level can create a larger atmosphere of happiness, and I think that's something that everybody should be doing now. Criticizing one another and picking on individual faults of a person is not productive. Look at what's good about yourself, and also your family and your inner circle. Don't concentrate on what isn't good. Concentrate on what is good, and let's try to embark on a year of more cooperation. I think that's really the word. Cooperation amongst people would be very good. And I also think we have to have a little bit of civic mindedness. I think if you see a piece of paper on the floor, pick it up. If somebody is homeless, perhaps reach out a hand, give them $1, give them $2 if you're fortunate enough to be able to do it. Hand in your coat to somebody who's cold. You have a load of extra ones if you're walking on the street. Go down in the morning and hand one to a homeless person. It really does matter. The small little acts of kindness, I think, really matter than the larger gestures. I mean, we're not a nation, but we are a group of individuals who can create a better nation and a greater, I think, life for all of us.
Okay, I have a pen and paper here.
Okay.
And I think we should each write down a few personal little fun goals that we're going to do this year.
You write your wishes in first, and I'll do my wishes.
And then we'll put them in a box.
And we can put them someplace safe, and then you can look at them next year and see if we've accomplished them.
Okay.
That would be a good thing.
My first thing is less indecision, especially when getting dressed.
Now, that's a good thing, Kimberly, since it takes you about an hour to pick out an outfit to go to a casual restaurant, and you spend less time at the restaurant than it was picking out the outfit.
That's completely true, and you've seen this firsthand. And for you, it's really easy because you basically have your uniform, a white button-down shirt, sweater over it,
Correct.
black or white pants.
It's fine.
And it looks good, but I don't have a uniform.
Well, I don't think you need a uniform. What I think you need to do is sort of identify colors. And if you have beige pants, you know what goes with beige pants. If you have white pants, you know what goes. That's how you have to figure it out. And you sort of, you don't buy something out of character of what you want, because then you end up with a lot of things in your closet that don't really go together. So when you're going into a store and you say, I'd like to buy a new sweater. Okay, what would look good with black pants? What would look good with my new brown or beige pants? And if it doesn't look good with those colors, don't buy it.
Number 2, I want us to have almost 1 million followers.
I think that's a great idea, Kim.
Because that's just a big number that we can choose, so we can grow our following and our audience and feel like we're reaching more people and creating a community.
I think that's a good goal.
So I'll write community also.
Okay.
Okay. Fitness.
Well, that's you like to do that.
Okay,
So
but I want to be like bodybuilder level.
oh, wow. All right. I don't know if that's going to look so good. You're 5'2", and with muscles, you'll look a little silly, but you could be in fit shape. I think that's a good thing.
I'm going to write extra toned.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
All right.
I'm going to write embroidery on here
Okay. You've taken up needlepoint.
because I just started needlepointing and we'll see if I'm doing that next year. And I'm going to write skincare and sunscreen because I don't think I ever care about that enough. And
Well, that is
that
important.
seems
and
very
And
important.
we've talked to many doctors, even in our TikToks and on our podcast, that emphasize that you really have to be careful, cover yourself, don't go out and sit in the sun without some kind of protective covering. As I've grown older, I see on my skin, I used to love the sun and sit unprotected, and I have had lots of issues.
okay, and then I almost forgot a very important one. Boyfriend.
Okay. Well, I think that's a good idea. I think it has to be somebody that really is serious and wants the same things in life as you do. You want a regular, nice man who really wants the same thing you want, have a family, do things together that interest you. And it's not about the nightlife. It's more about relationship and developing a relationship. I think college is over. Time to get serious.
Okay, so bonus point if he's hot.
Well, if he's hot, then he probably isn't going to be marriage material. But you can still have a wonderful time together.
Okay, I'm going to show my little list.
It's a very long list, Kim. I think a more realistic thing that you should really aim for is maybe 2 dishes that you can make professionally on your stovetop at home that you can entertain yourself as well as a friend or a boyfriend. I think just 2 simple dishes, and you can do it because we've really been cooking. I'm a disaster. Learning how to cook 2 simple dishes would be really sufficient.
Is this for you or for me?
I think that's for you. What could I say? Okay, I'm going to do more exercise.
Okay.
Walking. I really don't have very much more I want to do myself. How do you like that? I'm pretty content with my life. So
All you want to do next year is walk?
well, I think I think
Why don't you do any business goals?
my business goals.
You can write money on there.
My business goal: make $1 million,
Okay.
$1 million a year,
Gross or net?
million net
Okay.
dollars net.
Okay.
Okay. And perhaps, here, I have something. The third thing I think I would like to do, have a product. That's it. I've done it.
Okay.
Those are my 3.
I would also like a car if Santa's listening.
But the problem with your wanting a car is you should drive better. So
But I'll drive better if I have a car.
I don't know. Nobody wants to be on the road when you're on the road.
A classic convertible.
Well,
I
you
have
could always do that, but I mean, you have to be. Firstly, you have to. Where are you going in a car?
To see you.
Well, I have no idea. So wherever you're going, if that's what you want, you should do it. But I think you have other things on your list that you should
This
do
is true.
first.
Okay, I think those are some good goals for the new year. We're going to put this sheet in a little shoebox or somewhere safe so
And
we
see
can come
if we
back to
achieve
it
by
next year.
next year.
Okay,
Okay.
another great episode of Excuse My Grandma. Follow us online, on social media. We are Excuse My Grandma. Share it with your parents, grandparents, grandkids. Talk about it with them. And
We want to hear some of your goals as well. So that would be very interesting for us.
yes, we